Hey guys, this is Eric with Auto Visual. Today we're going to show you how to connect your laptop computer to a secondary screen, whether that be a projector, a TV, or monitor. In this case, we're just using a little monitor to show you. The principle is the same no matter which device that you're using. But you have your laptop here, and most of your laptops are going to be equipped with an HDMI port. Unless it's an older laptop which may have only a VGA, but it's pretty hard to find one of those these days, so you should be good with it. So you just have to locate your HDMI port and use your HDMI cable, plug it in. It's usually on one side, but that's where it is. Different brands are in different places, so it depends on which one you have. And we are running Windows 10 on this laptop. A lot of times they will auto-detect my connection here. You make sure you get a good connection and it's seated properly, and that it will automatically display to the second screen. They don't always do that. That just depends on the brand of the computer and things like that. But generally speaking, they're going to auto-detect, and what it's doing, it's mirroring the screen, meaning that the same thing is showing on this screen and my secondary screen. So if I don't want that, for instance, if I was doing a presentation and I wanted to run all my slideshow and have whoever's doing that over here, and I can see what slides are coming up, but on the secondary screen I only want my slides. Here's how we do that. Generally, I just can click anywhere on the desktop area, make a right click, and I can go to my display settings. Now again, different computer manufacturers, it might be called a little bit different name, but you can go to the area where you can customize your display, and I can see that it's showing me one screen and it's 1/2. It's showing them right here. If I click identify, it's going to tell me which one is number. It's going to tell me they're both the same, 1/2. However, if I wanted to, this is where I go. Multiple displays, duplicate these displays. They're being duplicated right now. If I don't want that to be duplicated, I can extend my displays, and I can apply that, and it's going to separate my two screens. And it's going to ask me if I want to keep that, so yeah, I want to keep that. So now what happens is I actually have two separate screens. I have this screen, and I have another screen off to this side. So if I move my mouse or drag my window over to that side, I have the other screen like that. That would be the same case if I were using a projector or something like that. So I'm going to go back to my main screen real quick, and then you'll notice that this screen is bigger than this one on here, and that's because it has auto-detected the default resolution of that second screen, which is higher than the default resolution of the laptop screen. So you can go in and you can change those options too if you need to do that for some reason. But generally, if it's detecting that, it's going to try to optimize, and you can see that. If I click the the identify button again, I can see this is 1 and that's number 2. But that's it as far as that goes. Now, in some instances, you may not want, if you're playing videos or something from your computer and you're using a sound system, you may want that to be separate. You may not want the audio to go down the HDMI cable to whatever that source is. You may want it to come out analog into a mixer. And what I'm going to do here, I'm going to show you how to change that. I'm going to go to my little sound thing, and I'm going to right click on that option. I'm going to go back to playback devices. And if you don't see it there, you can go into your control panel and find your playback devices, and you can see that it is selected on this device, which that's the other screen, so it's sending all the audio down this cable to that screen. If I wanted to play on the speakers of this or the headphone jack, I can select this. This is what I want it to do, and that, we can enable it on this one instead, and that would be how you make that happen. But if I want to send it to that device, like if that was the TV and I want to send it to the TV, that's great. The only catch is if you have set it to your headphone and you're trying to play it over your TV or other source that accepts the HDMI signal, it's going to play out the speakers or the headphone jack, and that's where you would switch it back. It's the same thing in reverse. So that's a real quick setting for that, and that's how you do that. If you wanted to change that, you just select this setting, apply that, and make that happen. We're not going to do that right now, so there we are.